If you had told me I'd become a saint, I would have laughed in your face. Saints were carved in marble, staring down from church ceilings. I was just a 22-year-old nursing student from Madrid, trying to survive life, rent, and heartbreak. My name is Isabella Cruz, and this is how God found me, in the noise, not the silence. I grew up with screens instead of sunsets. My phone was my confessional, my followers, my faith. My mother was the last person in our house who still believed in God. She was a nurse, strong, tired, always praying in whispers before leaving for her night shifts. She'd kiss my forehead and say, "Pray for me, Nina. You never know when your prayer might be the one that saves someone." I'd roll my eyes and go back to scrolling. Then one ordinary evening, everything broke. She texted me on her way home from work, "Be home soon. I made your favorite." She never made it. A drunk driver hit her at the red light 2 streets from our house. I didn't cry at first. I just froze. Then I screamed until my throat bled. At the funeral, I stared at her coffin and thought, if God is love, I don't want him. The next year was a blur of noise. I quit church. I chased distractions, parties, relationships, anything to feel alive. But every night, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, empty. One night, while waiting for a bus, I saw an old homeless woman digging through trash. People passed her like she was invisible. Something made me stop. "Are you okay?" I asked. She smiled, toothless but radiant. "I'm fine, Nina. God keeps me warm." Her name was Lucia. I bought her food, gave her my scarf, and sat with her. "You believe in God?" I asked. She nodded. "When you lose everything, you find him easier." That line haunted me for days. I started visiting her every week. Then slowly I began helping at a parish soup kitchen. It wasn't dramatic, it was small things. Washing dishes, handing out bread, listening. But something inside me shifted. One day Lucia handed me a small, tarnished silver cross. "Keep this," she said. "You'll need it when it gets dark again." I didn't understand then. When COVID hit in 2020, I was one of thousands of nurses thrown into the storm. Hospitals were chaos, sirens, body bags, exhaustion. People died alone and we couldn't even hold their hands. But one night I broke the rules. A patient, an old man, was dying. He begged to see a priest, but no one could come. I knelt beside him, whispered the Our Father, and pressed my gloved hand over his heart. He smiled. "You look like an angel," he said, and then, he was gone. I walked to the chapel afterward and cried until sunrise. I said, "God, if you're real, you can have me. Just don't let anyone die alone again." That night, something inside me caught fire. From then on, I worked like a woman possessed, not out of pride but out of love. I started praying before every shift. I'd hold a patient's hand and whisper, "You're not alone." I saw peace fall on faces that had been terrified moments before. Coworkers called me the calm nurse. Some joked I was secretly a saint. I laughed it off. But strange things happened. A baby in the ICU who wasn't expected to live, lived. A comatose teenager woke up after I prayed for her mother in the hallway. A doctor told me, "Every time you're on duty, the ward feels lighter." I didn't have answers. I just kept loving, one heartbeat at a time. Then came the fire. It was a normal Friday night shift in 2022. A power surge sparked an explosion in the children's wing. Smoke filled the corridors, alarms blaring. I grabbed my cross, covered my mouth, and ran in. "Isabella, get out," someone shouted. But I heard a child crying. I followed the sound, found a girl trapped under a beam. My arms burned as I pulled her free. We crawled out together, gasping in the cold night air. I could have stopped there. But I knew there were others inside. I looked at the burning windows and said a single prayer, "Jesus, let me love you to the end." I ran back in. That was the last time they saw me alive. They found me 2 hours later, cradling a baby I'd shielded with my body. The fire had taken everything, except them. At my funeral, nurses, patients, even atheists came. Lucia stood at the front, holding my silver cross. She whispered, she believed anyway. Months later, stories began to spread. A firefighter said he saw a woman in white guiding him through the flames. A cancer patient claimed she felt my hand on her shoulder while she prayed. A nurse who'd lost faith said I appeared in her dream telling her, "Don't give up. Love is stronger." The church investigated. They found no explanation, but too many witnesses to ignore. In 2038 they canonized me, Saint Isabella Cruz, patron of nurses, the lonely and the broken-hearted. But that title doesn't matter. What matters is this. Holiness isn't about rules or perfection. It's about love that refuses to quit. It's about showing up when everyone else runs away. It's about believing, again and again, even when you don't understand. If you're reading this, maybe your life feels like ashes right now. Maybe you've lost faith or hope or someone you love. I've been there. But ashes are where resurrection begins. So keep loving. Keep believing. And when everything burns, run into the fire anyway. That's where you'll find him.